evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Monday, August 8, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines this evening, the list is not the problem, says President Ali on Norton's no elections threat. APNU AFC a no-show at parliamentary sitting. Quarantine woman stabbed to death by ex-husband. BERBICE youth dies after losing control of motorcycle. Hog Island farmer suspectedly murdered. Body dumped overboard. 4.4 billion supplementary funds approved for Public Works Ministry. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Irfan Ali has poured cold water on opposition leader Aubrey Norton's threat that there would be no elections if the list of electors is not clean, pointing out that the People's National Congress reform only has a problem with the list when it does not win the elections. Bisham Mohammed reports.
During an event in Buxton over the weekend, the president pointed out the trend. He noted that there was no outcry from the opposition, their Partnership for National Unity Alliance for Change, of which the PNC is a major part, about a dirty list when it won the elections in 2015.
That is a list that went to the elections in 2015 that brought him to the government. That is a list that went to the 2011 election that saw a minority government. That is a list that went to the 2020 election that saw a majority government. So apparently this is only a problem when you don't win the elections. The list is not the problem. His integrity is the problem. His inability to recognize democracy and his inability to abide by the rule of law and his inability to respect the will of the people is the problem, and he needs to fix that.
During a recent rally with his supporters, Norton had said that the party would not participate in an election where the list is not clean. He had also repeated a call which he had previously made for the removal of Guyana Elections Commission Chair, retired Justice Claudette Singh.
We need a clean voters list. We want the Elections Commission to return to being an independent commission. In the history of this country, I have never seen an election commission chairman that votes every time with the PPP. What independence is that?
According to Norton, if the party does not get its way with a clean voters list, then it will do all in its powers to prevent elections with a dirty list. GCOM has already conducted a continuous registration exercise in order to update the list of electors and pave the way for the hosting of local government elections. GCOM has said that this registration exercise is of crucial importance for first-time applicants, those persons who were 14 to 18 years old when they were registered during the 2019 house-to-house registration. It is also understood that GCOM is looking to have an updated voters list in place by October in order for the local government elections to be held. The last time government conducted continuous registration was in 2019 in preparations for the March 2020 general and regional elections. Bisham Mohammed, Evening News.
We are now joined by Amar Prasad, who reports that President Dr. Irfan Ali on Sunday recommitted his government to the cause of developing indigenous communities at the Upper Mazaruni's 23rd Annual District Games in Keiko, Upper Mazaruni.
In delivering the keynote address, the president committed to working with indigenous communities in the areas ranging from agriculture to sport.
My philosophy and the philosophy of the government is to work with you, to work with every stakeholder, to work with every Guyanese, every single community, every single region in ensuring we bring prosperity to everyone and uplift the life and conditions of every single community across our country. We will work with you, we will be with you. I want to also show all the villages here, all the Tushaus. I promise you that I will be in your communities. And I promise all the Tushaus who are here from the different communities that before the end of the year, by the grace of God, you will see me in your communities.
He also donated $1.5 million to the event and announced that the government would work with the winning community to develop a shade house to advance its security agenda. The president reiterated that his government is on a mission to ensure prosperity and a one Guyana through various avenues that will connect every citizen.
As a people, we are more connected than disconnected. But sometimes we allow the disconnection to overshadow the connection. And we are on a mission under the One Guyana umbrella to connect our country through development, to connect our country through economic prosperity, social harmony, but more importantly, to connect us together as one Guyanese family, as one Guyanese people. And that is what is important, that is what is critical.
The Guyana government has been on an aggressive campaign to dismantle regional barriers to agricultural trade and increase food production. President Ali has said that in the next 4 years, with the assistance of more diversified crops, Guyana would aim to reduce CARICOM's food import bill by 25%. Months after assuming office, President Ali had charged the Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Ministry to assess and address the hurdles related to exporting food and agricultural products to markets within the region. Last year, some 112 tractors were procured for distribution in indigenous communities so that residents could independently maintain their food security. At the time, Amerindian Affairs Minister Pauline Sukai had outlined some of the projects on stream for villages, especially those that have been gravely impacted by the coronavirus. She explained that these initiatives were aimed at strengthening the food security in Amerindian villages with new investments in the agriculture sector. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Keeping to its promise, the Partnership for National Unity Alliance for Change coalition was a no-show at Monday's sitting of the National Assembly. It is a move that was hinted at since last week by opposition leader Aubrey Norton. Rupa Sinarayan has the details.
When the parliamentary sitting commenced at the Arthur Chung Conference Center, only the government side was present as seats from the opposition remained empty. Monday's session was packed with a number of transformative measures for discussion and debate. These included the tabling of the government's Low Carbon Development Strategy 2020 bill and, more importantly, debate on its request for supplementary funding of $44.8 billion. Nevertheless, with the opposition members of parliament choosing to stay away, only the government MPs were present. The boycott was hinted by opposition leader Aubrey Norton during a rally on Tuesday evening. The boycott comes in the wake of the National Assembly's decision to suspend 8 APNU AFC members of parliament connected with the infamous stealing of the maize. Last month, the National Assembly adopted a report from the Parliamentary Committee of Privileges which recommended the suspension of Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones, Ganesh Mahipal, Shara Duncan, Natasha Singh Lewis, Annette Ferguson, Vince Roy Jordan, Tabitha Sarapu Haley, and Maureen Philadelphia over their conduct in the House on December 29, 2021. Chief Whip Jones, Mahipal, Duncan, and Singh Lewis have been suspended for 4 consecutive sittings each over their attempts to disrupt the passage of the Natural Resource Fund bill and ignore the authority of the Speaker on December 29, 2021. MPs Ferguson and Jordan are suspended for 6 consecutive sittings over severe violations by removing the parliamentary mace from its rightful position, not only damaging the object but also injuring and assaulting a staff of the Parliament office. Meanwhile, Sarabu Haley, who entered the communication control room of the Arthur Chung Conference Center and destroyed several pieces of audiovisual equipment, is suspended for 6 sittings. Additionally, Philadelphia is facing a suspension for 6 consecutive sittings for verbally assaulting a Parliament staff. The opposition had also approached the court seeking an order suspending any decision, resolution, or other determination made by the House to suspend them, and a further order that they be allowed to perform their duties until they have been afforded the right to be heard before the Parliamentary Sessional Select Committee of Privileges pending the hearing and determination of their fixed date application. This, however, was not granted by the High Court.
Meanwhile, the Public Works Ministry has secured over $4 billion in additional funding for the remainder of 2022 after its supplementary budget was approved on Monday. Amar Prasad filed this report.
Government sought a total of $44.7 billion in supplementary funding from National Assembly for the period ending December 31, 2022. Of this amount, $4.439 billion was earmarked for rehabilitative works on pontoons of the Demerara Harbor Bridge and for the acquisition of spares and completion of rehabilitation of its vessels. For upgrading roads and drains in several communities, some $3 billion was awarded.
Apart from the hundreds, if not 1,000 or more roads that we've already done since coming into office in August 2020, the backlog is great. Basically, what we're trying to do here now is to do what should have been done in some of those communities during the period 2015 to 2020. Selective communities had works done during that period. Selective communities. In this dispensation, all communities are benefited.
Guyana Power and Light also received an additional $4 billion. According to Senior Minister with Responsibility for Finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, it is to enable cash flow at the entity. Apart from debts owed by public entities, there is also the challenge of fuel costs.
The challenges at GPL have been further compounded by the fact that the fuel price on the global market has increased tremendously, moving from just about $40 a barrel when we assumed office to more than $100 a barrel. And we have, as a matter of policy, given a commitment that we will absorb this fuel price increase and not pass it on to the consumer. And it would be, of course, a matter of widespread public awareness that notwithstanding the fuel prices, we have not made any adjustment to electricity prices. This, of course, has itself imposed a grave cash flow pressure on GPL. And so this $4 billion represents a further effort to liquidate the long-standing liabilities that are owed to GPL and ease the cash flow challenges that the company is currently facing.
Meanwhile, with some $3.5 billion more pumped into Kaisuku, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa says the Rose Hall estate will soon be reopened, having re-employed close to 700 persons.
The factory rehabilitation program is 58% completed, and you have a number of works that have already been done, replace cane knife, turbine, number 3, number 4 mill rollers, carrier chain, structure, and a number of other work that will submit to the honorable member. But Mr. Speaker, we are on track to reopen this estate. As a matter of fact, many persons in this country would have realized and would have known that that area was made a ghost town.
For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
A Corentyne woman was on Monday stabbed to death by her ex-husband, from whom she had separated 2 months ago. Our BERBICE correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that the suspect used his car to hit the woman off her motorcycle before fatally attacking her with a knife.
Dead is 24-year-old Cindy Ramchandar of number 47 Village, Corentyne, BERBICE. Reports are that at around 7 hours, the young woman left her home on an electric bike to drop off her 3-year-old niece at her parents' home, which is 1 street away. While in front of the child's mother's home, her ex-husband reportedly drove up and struck her off of the bike. He reportedly exited the car, attacked the woman with a knife, and stabbed her several times before fleeing the scene.
I don't know who called the by and tell them that this girl go by them. I don't know if the people them child who we care to or who. But the boy get some details because in Oliver Rosa, so he go reach so fast, he come until in Amsterdam and wait and hide from the health center. Right? And then we catch the girl go with a red scooter and he even put down the scooter and he stab she.
Ramchandar's aunt, Anita Treboyan, told reporters that the couple was married for 2 years but separated 2 weeks ago. During their marriage, Ramchandar suffered constant abuse at the hands of her husband.
She made very hard time, but since she married, she made very tough time with his by and parents then. That's why she married being back she said before them people do she anything and this boy used to walk a ship. So he come out and I don't know. This boy lived till in Amsterdam. But I don't know how correctly this boy know that this girl go drop this child over there.
The couple had no children. The police are on the hunt for the suspect, who is said to be living in East Kanji, BERBICE.
The girl tell she mommy says she not go back with him and he too mean and so. And she not go back, so she bring where she stop them. The boy telling no one she, and she pack up and she think them 12 o'clock at night and then go for she.
Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Hog Island farmer suspectedly murdered, body dumped overboard. BERBICE youth dies after losing control of motorcycle. This and more after this short break.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
At Mima Decor, we cater for all of your favorite design products. Tiles for your floors and walls, doors, door locks and knobs, bathroom cabinets, bathtubs and bathroom fixtures, kitchen sinks and fixtures, chandeliers, wall lamps and light fixtures, wallpaper and wall panels, plus so much more. Let's make your creation a reality. Mima Decor, 8 Sheriff Street. Like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Credit! Yeah, ready? We are short so far. Look along, me tell you, buy one generator. Now the picnic online test and blackout come and cut off everything. Sorry, son. Radhika, Abby go tomorrow. Abby go now.
At Sylvie's, we stock products from more than 22 different sectors in mining, construction, food processing, vulcanizing, home improvements, and more.
Are you getting generator?
So this is a 3000 better size generator. This will work for your lights, your fan, your TV, and your fridge.
Well, Abby can buy one for Abby and Abby can buy one for Mommy too.
Yeah, and Mommy could even key start it, because all you have to do is hook up the battery and...
Visit us today at 31 High and Hatfield Street, where our friendly and knowledgeable team members are willing to assist you. You can also call us on 227-6243 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 and shop via our website at www.sylviesonline.com.
Abby go buy one Dalpuri mill,
one plucking machine, one pressure washing machine, one juice dispenser, one engine, one pepper grinding machine,
one water pump, a sugar cane juicer, circle sir. We gotta get alright then food warmer. We gotta get. What are you looking at?
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. A young cricketer who was said to have been under the influence of alcohol died after reportedly losing control of the motorcycle he was driving in the wee hours of Sunday. Andrew Carmichael has that story.
Dead is 25-year-old Clifton John Lindy, a sales representative attached to the Demerara Distillers Limited and the 1554 Glasgow New Housing Scheme, Greater New Amsterdam. The incident occurred at Providence, Greater New Amsterdam. According to his sister, Katrina Lindy, the incident may have occurred shortly after 1 hour.
He was riding coming home, he was drunk, and around 1 something time, and the front wheel of the bike blew out, and he lost control and ended up in the trench part.
The incident occurred in the vicinity of a fuel company terminal, and according to Lindy, a security guard heard a crashing sound but did not venture forth to investigate. It was not until the break of day that a police mobile patrol saw the lifeless body of Lindy lying in the trench. He was pulled out and taken to the New Amsterdam hospital, where he was pronounced dead.
This morning, someone came and told us that they pulled him out from the trench. He's at the hospital, and when we went there, they said he's at Arokium.
That's the funeral parlor?
Yes.
Lindy left home on Saturday afternoon to spend time with friends. His sister told the Evening News that they were hanging out in front of the place of his work at Main and Chapel Streets.
He was known for the sports, he was known for how soft he is, you know, and how hardworking he is, because when he put his mind to something, he could do it.
How long he had the motorcycle?
He had the motorcycle for years. Like when he come out of school, since probably like age 20 or age 19, he riding. We always with a motorbike, because my father had a motorbike. So he always with motorcycles.
Lindy played cricket for Burmine Cricket Club and also Berbice Police. He leaves to mourn his mother, sister, and grandmother. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
The lifeless body of 35-year-old Romeo Randolph, a farmer of Hog Island, Essequibo River, and of Tushan, East Bank, Essequibo, was pulled from the Essequibo River on Sunday. He is suspected to have been murdered and his body dumped overboard. The man's family had reported him missing on August 5. However, the police have said that Randolph's body was found with his feet and hands bound with yellow rope and a 115 HP outboard engine which belonged to him, tied to his body. The man's head was also covered with a black plastic bag that was duct-taped. He is said to live alone on the island, but visits his reputed wife and children at Tushan weekly. He was last seen leaving his Tushan home on Thursday last to travel to Hog Island to conduct business, but never returned. The man's body was taken to the Ezekiel Funeral Home, awaiting post-mortem. The police have launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the man's demise. As it continues to strengthen its efforts to clamp down on narcotics trafficking in Guyana, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit will be focusing on tackling challenges such as new trafficking routes and secret airstrips with the hopes of minimizing trafficking activities and reducing the amount of illicit drugs on the market. More in this report.
In its 2022 second quarter report, the unit highlighted a series of new and existing challenges that confront it and ways in which it is working to have these addressed. With regards to the new and emerging routes of trafficking narcotics to evade law enforcement, CANU said it is collaborating with other agencies in response. I quote, "The unit has discovered new trends in the routes used by illicit drug traffickers through extensive observation and analysis of the points of seizure. Though some of the routes are speculative, CANU intends to collaborate with sister law enforcement agencies to intercept drug trafficked along these routes, as well as deter narcotics trafficking and cultivation within specific areas." End of quote. Additionally, the Anti-Narcotics Agency also highlighted that secret airports, especially in the hinterland regions, are another area of concern. In fact, it was noted that throughout 2021 and in the first quarter of this year, there were numerous reports of abandoned aircraft being discovered at such locations. CANU also pointed to corruptions within agencies as a deterrent to anti-narcotics efforts. It outlined that, like many other countries, Guyana is no exception to corruption and illegal drug trafficking. Meanwhile, the rapid advancement of new technologies also jeopardizes the effectiveness of law enforcement efforts, the unit stated. According to CANU, the Internet's global reach as a platform for communication and coordination among traffickers has an impact on the movement of illicit drugs, as well as the facilitation of money laundering activities. In addition, the Anti-Narcotic Agency went on to state that with the detection of increased presence of drugs in school, it is working with the Education Ministry to come up with a framework to address drug use and drug possession in schools. In fact, it was noted that the unit has begun the process of developing a proactive framework, which is currently in its early stages. Bisham Mohammed, Evening News.
The Leonora Diagnostic and Treatment Center will officially be commissioned as a smart hospital on Tuesday as construction works have been completed. Here is Shane Marks with the details.
Following the completion of construction work at the Leonora Diagnostic and Treatment Center, the hospital will officially be commissioned as a smart hospital on Tuesday, according to Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony.
We are now going to finish the construction at Leonora. So this is going to be handed over on Tuesday. We're expecting that His Excellency would also be there. As you know, that's a community from which he is from, and I'm sure that he would like to be there for the recommissioning of this hospital.
The Smart Hospital concept comes under an $835 million fund by the former United Kingdom Department for International Development and implemented by the Pan-American Health Organization's Department of Emergency Preparedness and Disaster Relief with the Health Ministry.
The ministry, we had worked jointly with the United Kingdom on a Smart Hospital project. And within this project, there were 5 hospitals that we were looking at. That's Lethem, Diamond, Lenora, Mabaruma. And we have the PARLIAMENTARY Health Center, which can function as a cottage hospital. So these were 5 facilities that we had looked at to make them more climate resilient, meaning that they shouldn't be flooded. They should have better flow within the hospital itself, where it's possible. Instead of using power from the grid, that we be using solar power, and that water from rainfall, that we can convert that and use it within the facility itself. So with these modifications in mind, we have redesigned these hospitals to be able to utilize solar and to utilize rainwater and so forth.
Hospitals in Diamond and Lethem have already been upgraded under the project. This week, Leonora will follow suit, leaving Mabaruma and Paramakatoy. For the year 2022, government plans on injecting a whopping $73 billion into the healthcare sector. Shane Marks, The Evening News.
The government is seeking to secure funds to fix dams in Region 6, which were damaged during the rainy season. These dams provide access to farmlands along the Corentyne, most of them rice lands. Water levels in the cultivation area are currently high as a result of recent heavy and continuous rainfall. In this Andrew Carmichael report, you will hear that the irrigation pumps have not been in operation for some time and that all the access dams in the cultivation areas are in urgent need of attention. Andrew Carmichael has that story.
According to Region 6 Chairman David Armagon, in excess of $30 million will be needed to repair all of the dams in the cultivation areas across the region. An estimated $8 million will be needed to repair dams in the 5274 area in the Corentyne and $45 million for dams in the Crabwood Creek area.
Blackbush alone is asking for $17.5 million. We probably would need about $30 to $40 million to make up all these dams that are in a very deplorable state.
In Region 6, which is the second largest rice producing area in the country, 57,000 acres are under rice cultivation. On Wednesday last, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa met with farmers in the Corentyne and assured them that the dams will be fixed in time for harvesting. Farmers at the meeting, which was held at a New Market Primary, expressed concern over the state of dams, pointing out that in the current state it will be impossible to get combines into most of the rice fields. Rice farmers also claim that it will be impossible to get their paddy out of the fields with lorries on dams in the current state. However, it is not only rice farmers who depend on those access dams. Some residents also need them to get to and from their homes. Devanand Ramatar of Maibikuri Blackbush Polder, who is a security guard, says it is very important for the dams to be fixed.
Tell you the truth, them dams so bad right now that, rice cutting about to come up now. And then if them dam doesn't make, then that's a serious problem with the rice industry. Or even to that left out people who want, if you got sickness, and you want to come out on the inside way, then it's very hard, very hard. Watch right now, me want to show you a fine track you got on the big dam only for going. Punishing.
If the rain continues to fall, it will be very difficult to make those dams. But the minister has asked farmers to assist by utilizing whatever tools they have to drain the water off the land so that we can send the machines to make the dams. So it is a pretty costly exercise, and this is because in the rainy season we have to spend that kind of money.
For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
So Demawara Harbor Bridge will close to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, August 9, 2022 at 1 hour for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 14 hours 15 on Tuesday, August 9, 2022, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Horses drawn as Jumbo Jet ready for Guyana Cup 2022, and President Ali announced plans for football development. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Play our virtual Chick Chick game today and get a chance to win big. With over 450 draws, 3 dices, and 52 bet types to choose from. You can also be a winner with Superbet. Visit www.superbet.gy or any one of our agents closest to you. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 years and over.
Traveling soon? Then come into John Lewis Styles on Waterloo Street and let's help you choose the right set of luggage. You can choose to buy 3-piece luggage sets, or separate pieces, but the sets are always a better deal. Either available in soft poly, or ABS hard side material, with 4-wheeled spinners, and in many colors too. Also available are carry-on luggage, computer bags, duffel bags, backpacks, travel pillows, blankets and lots more to make your trip enjoyable. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Looking for fresh, tender, and flavorful meat? Then check out Rossignol Butchery for steaks, burgers, sausages, minced meat, fish, and chicken. For a tasty, attractive cocktail, we have a wide variety of packaged deli meats and cheeses to decorate your platter. We also stock a wide assortment of canned goods, seasoning salt, sauces, and marinade, all in a highly hygienic, welcoming atmosphere with warm and welcoming staff to cater to all your needs. Rossignol Butchery, we meet your needs. 73 to 74 Church Street, Georgetown. Telephone number 223-0004.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1150.